Get ready to watch elite gladiators do battle as part of an iconic world-conquering empire built from nothing. When in Rome, do the Rome E-Prix. Round 4 of the ABB FIA Formula E World Championship. A mixed-up grid, slippery conditions, fast street circuits, and we're in for quite the afternoon. This is the grid. Oliver Turvey will start from the pit lane. Jake Dennis couldn't get out for qualifying. Sergio Sette Camara crashed in qualifying. Andre Lotterer used too much power in qualifying. Jean-Eric Vergne, race winner from yesterday, couldn't get his tyres up to temperature and starts in 20th place, just behind René Rast. Second and third in the championship. Frans and De Vries start 18th and 17th on the grid. They have got a long afternoon ahead of them. Reigning champion Antonio Felix da Costa will line up in 15th spot. Lucas de Grassi nearly won yesterday. Today he's going to be starting from 13th position. 12th and 11th, the two Jaguars of Mitch Evans and Sam Bird. They started 12th and 10th yesterday and made their way through to finish on the podium. Sam Bird is the championship leader. And into the top 10. Sébastien Buemi, who started 9th on the grid yesterday. He had a tough qualifying session, but he managed to get into 10th spot, which yesterday he managed to climb up into 5th position, so he'll be looking for a similar outcome this afternoon. 9th is Nico Müller, a much better qualifying performance for the Dragon Penske Autosport car than they managed yesterday. The Swiss driver lining up in 9th spot, just ahead of his compatriot Sébastien Buemi. Then, behind, you've got Oliver Rowland in the Nissan Edams. He almost took pole position for round 3. He's got his work cut out to climb up the order. He was leading the race yesterday before being given a penalty. Eduardo Mortara starts 7 on the grid for the Rocket Venturi racing team. He's looking for a strong result after he was unable to take part in qualifying yesterday. Alexander Sims was impressive in qualifying. He lines up in 6th place on the grid, strong in the damp conditions. Max Günther is 5th for the BMW I Andretti Motorsport team, and then it's the other Mercedes, Stoffel Vandoorne, who is down in 15th in the championship, but has been looking quick in every round, and he's going to be one of the favourites to take victory. Pascal Wehrlein started 2nd on the grid in Diriyah, slipped back to 5th. He's now starting 3rd here. Can he secure his first win? And then it is a pair of rookies on the front row. Norman Nato, the Frenchman for the Rocket Venturi team, and Nick Cassidy, the 26-year-old New Zealander for the Envision Virgin Racing team. Neither have been on the front row before, and Nick Cassidy secures his first pole position in just his 4th ABB FIA Formula E Championship race. My name is Jack Nicholls, 3-time Indy 500 winner Dario Franchitti is alongside me, and we are about to get going behind the safety car. Then the safety car will peel in, and then racing will get underway. And whilst of course it's disappointing for everyone that the safety car start is happening, it didn't stop us from having a good race yesterday, did it?
No, absolutely not. We finished under yellow too, but it was an absolutely epic race in the middle. The battles all up and down the field from the very front was quite something. I think we're going to see more of the same today, because it's so difficult for anybody to gain some sort of advantage. Put in changeable track conditions, changeable surface conditions, all those things, and yeah, I'm excited to see what happens here.
The other driver that's a winner for the safety car start is Oliver Turvey, because he had to start from the pit lane due to a penalty yesterday for an accident, but he'll just get to join the back of the queue straight away, will the British driver. There's how you can get involved in the fan boost, which will be giving an extra power boost in the second half of the race to the driver with the 5 drivers with the most votes, and hashtag Rome E-Prix if you want to get in touch on social media. The other thing is the safety car laps will be much quicker today because the circuit is much drier than yesterday. We're already sort of halfway around. Now, look at this, as they come up the hill, this is where we're going to see the tricky parts of the racetrack in terms of conditions.
Yeah, absolutely, under the trees as well, so it's not going to dry too quickly. Though through turns, it does look very dry. The braking zone for 7, you see going onto this new type of tarmac, this asphalt, that's very slippery. Look at the marks where the cars have been bottoming out as they brake for turn 7. Now, if you think the tarmac's slippery, these white painted lines are like ice, and they might still be, and all you need to do is catch one of those incorrectly from behind the driver's seat and you can end up in the wall. Absolutely no margin for error here in Formula E.
It was a very spread out safety car start yesterday. I don't know what the field was playing at, but you know, they were all, it wasn't the sort of, everyone wasn't right behind each other, were they? And it got spread out quite quickly.
Yeah, they were really spread out at this point yesterday, but then they sort of got a bit closer. But you're right, it was definitely, I would have thought they would have been that bit closer. Normally you see them pushing each other up the hill, but Yeah, that somewhat helped them going into turn 7. And yet again, Jack, very spread out. And the safety car is in this lap.
Safety car in this lap then. Race will be getting underway. There goes the mini electric pace setter, the new safety car for the championship now. And Nick Cassidy will be the one leading the way here, the 26-year-old from Auckland. Really happy to get his first pole position. It's been a bit of a baptism of fire in Formula E, but look at the gap. From the top 10 are all sort of together, then everyone else is really spread out.
And he's going to go.
Yeah.
These guys still haven't caught up. So look at them. This is, I mean, honestly, quite ridiculous. I don't know if who's slowing down or what's going on, but he's gone. Cassidy's gone, and half the field hasn't even caught up. And to gain that much time, the second half of the field, that's really poor.
So we go green in Rome as the safety car comes in. Nick Cassidy leads the way. Norman Nato in the white and black Venturi is second. Then it's the other white and black car. The Porsche. Cassidy's round at turn 7. A spin for Nick Cassidy as he turns it around, coming down. And from the lead of the race, he's locked the rears, just like Felix Rosenqvist did in Hong Kong in season 4. And now suddenly it's Norman Nato leading the way after Cassidy spins down at turn 3. Disastrous start for the New Zealander.
Just came down the hill, Jack. First laps in these conditions, locked the rear tyres with the regeneration braking. Actually, at this point, we've still been with some mechanical braking, but yeah, the balance caught him out. And look at Sims trying to make a move on Max Gunter.
Sims to the outside in the red, white and blue Mahindra. The blue and white BMW on the inside. And then right behind them is the white and black Mortara Venturi behind them, car number 48. But it's Norman Nato in the Venturi who is leading the way now. Cassidy recovered quite swiftly actually and is back into 11th position, but an absolute disaster for him on the run down into turn 3 at Trefontaine at the start of the lap. Now look, it's behind De Vries. The gap from De Vries to Freitz is 7 seconds from 17th to 18th, so what was going on there?
Lotterer has another penalty. 10 seconds stop and go. Car parts were changed over the limit. Another penalty for Andre Lotterer. He's championship contender normally, 0 points, and yet another penalty. As you see, championship leader Sam Bird in the number 10 Jaguar, green and black car.
Cassidy's got ahead of him.
Just locked the rears. There was no front braking at all. It was almost like he pulled the handbrake on Jim.
Cassidy on the radio blamed a software issue. He said he just touched the brakes and they fully locked.
Yeah, that to agree with Nick Cassidy. I mean, Nick Cassidy, we say he's a rookie. He's got massive experience. He's a world-class driver. He's won everything in Japan. Look at the reaction from the Envision Virgin garage.
Norman Nato leads the way. Attack mode activation is now open, and Stoffel Vandoorne is looking racy on the back of Pascal Wehrlein. So for this race, they get 3 attack modes compared to the usual 2, where they go offline, activate attack mode, and will be able to run at a higher power mode for 4 minutes, 3 times during this race. We'll try and keep track of it. It's a tricky one. But here is the attack from Stoffel Vandoorne, trying to get Wehrlein in second place. And look, Cassidy is on a mission now. He's got back ahead of Sam Bird, and now he's sent it up season 2 champion Sebastian Buemi. He is absolutely in the mood now, I imagine.
Absolutely, a bit of the red mist going there, but he can't get too excited because he's got to watch how much energy he uses to go fast. But clearly, the car is quick. He's quick, so it should be exciting watching him fighting his way through to the front.
So Norman Nato leading the way, but Wehrlein, Vandoorne, Gunter, Sims, all behind him, chasing him down. Driver's eye with Sam Bird, inside the helmet of the British driver in the Jaguar racing car. He's in 11th position, and he will want to be getting up ahead of Sebastian Buemi, who's in front of him in the Nissan. Cassidy making moves so early is quite interesting, because in these early stages it tends to be a little bit more conserve, look after your energy and just see how the race pans out later. But Cassidy wants to get back to the front, and the next driver he's got to try and pass is Nico Muller in 8th place in that white and red Dragon car. But here is the battle for the lead. Norman Nato, the Frenchman, ahead of the German Pascal Wehrlein in the Porsche, and then right behind them is the Mercedes EQ of Stoffel Vandoorne. And something has happened to Bird. Bird's dropping down the timing screens. So what has happened to the championship leader? He's back up into 11th place on the timing screens. That would have been a stressful one for the Jaguar team, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
And there is Bird on the attack, up the inside of Buemi down into turn 4. So looks like he's dropping back, and then suddenly he's made up a place into 10th position, into the points-paying positions, and now the other Jaguar is trying to get through of Mitch Evans. Meanwhile, the purple Envision Virgin car is trying to get ahead of the Dragon. To the inside goes Nick Cassidy, and he makes the move, and there's the move for the lead. Vergne ahead of Nato. The Porsche hits the front. Nato second. Cassidy got the move done there on Muller for 8th position, but Pascal Vergne in the Porsche moves them to the lead of the race.
Really good, mate. Keep it up. That's Roland ahead.
That was Stephen Lane on the radio saying, really good, mate. Keep it up.
Whoa, beautiful pass. Look at the rears. You can see Pascal Vergne correcting the lock as the rear tyres lock in the car, snapping the car sideways.
And there's a bold one from Vandoorne, and I don't think that Nato saw him coming.
That was a late one from Stoffel.
And he goes again, down into the Marconi hairpin. He's got that feeling that he needs to catch up. Pascal Vergne having taken the lead of the race away from Norman Nato, and Nato has now been passed by Vandoorne. Gunter is in 4th position. That felt like Vandoorne was happy to sit in behind until the Porsche gets away. Then it's like, no, I got to go with him.
Yeah, he's got to go because that gap gets too big, Jack. You just can't bridge the gap. It uses too much energy, and let's face it, Vergne's going to be quick too. So is Norman Nato going to be the roadblock that everybody's got to get through, keeping the field together? Because again, if you're Max Gunter, you can't let the leaders get away. You can't let Vergne and Vandoorne get away from you.
Now, we appear to have a problem with Sam Bird's transponder on his car, because every lap now he's dropping down and then coming back up to 10th, so he is fine.
Use energy to close the gap to Vergne. We need to close the gap to Vergne.
Marius Meyer-Dietrich saying use energy to close the gap to Pascal Vergne in front, i.e. when he then uses attack mode. Is on the outside now goes Cassidy on Roland. That's going to be a bold one up into Piazza Gandhi, and Bird has got past Buemi then in all of that, as we saw actually a moment ago. He's up into 10th place, but Vandoorne doesn't want to be so far back from Vergne that Vergne can activate attack mode and still come out in the lead of the race. That would be not ideal for the Mercedes EQ team.
And that was a very brave move by Nick Cassidy, trying to go around the outside of Oliver Roland, who would have absolutely none of that at all. Nobody's taken attack mode just yet. You have to go way offline, turn 15, you see it up at the top of the screen. You've got to go way offline to arm attack mode, lose some positions normally, but you get an extra 35 kilowatts of power, which is 17.5%.
Oliver Roland is the first to go through it and activate attack mode. He comes out just behind Nick Cassidy, who has got ahead of Muller, and then Roland sends it up the inside of Cassidy. Cassidy in the wall. Just coming into the Piazza JFK, and Roland was in attack mode and wanted to try and get back in front, but what a horrible race this is turning into for Nick Cassidy. To me, I think Roland was a bit ambitious there.
I would say so. I'd love to see it again. They happened so quickly, but it almost looks like he was not even a quarter of the way alongside. And we've seen a number of moves like that. There's the car behind thinks if it just gets some part of it alongside, then they've got the move made, but that's definitely not the case.
Nick de Vries on the charge, up to pass Tom Blomqvist in the Neo. So the other Mercedes EQ car is now up into 15th position. Robin Freins, meanwhile, is under investigation for not keeping a 10 car length close to the car in front. That's where the huge gap came from. So I don't know why Robin would have done that, because it was a safety car restart. It doesn't really make any sense, does it? Nick Cassidy now has got a right rear puncture and is going to be pitting at the end of this lap, so his race is well and truly done. He's in the pits now, right rear puncture, front wing gone, and that's going to be the end of his race. 34 minutes plus 1 lap to go, and it's already been an action-packed opening 12 minutes of the race. There's Oliver Roland. Let's see what happened then. Roland is there on the inside, and then he just tries to attack Cassidy coming into the right-hander. This is on board with Cassidy, and Roland just tried to make it 3. Did he mean to attack, I think, or did he just outbrake himself? I can't work it out.
Get yourself settled back in, and we're going to get into a program. I know it's frustrating, but we're not going to give up.
Stephen Lane saying, look, we're going back out there. We're going to pretend like we're doing the race and carry on. Robin Freins gets a 5-second time penalty for failing to keep 10 car lengths away from the driver in front. Vergne leads the way now in the Porsche. Vandoorne has closed in the Mercedes in second. Natto is also coming with them in third. Gunter is fourth. Sims has activated his attack mode then now. So has Roland, so has Mortara. So those three there, Sims, Roland, Mortara, are the first to activate their attack modes.
I have to say, I don't think Oliver Roland was far enough alongside to attempt to move. Absolutely not. And yeah, we saw the result for Nick Cassidy. Robin French's day goes from bad to worse. You have to say, yeah, it's under investigation, the Roland Cassidy incident now. Yeah, Stoffel Vandoorne looks very strong, Jack. Just looking at the way the car is handling, the line that he's taking, the fact that the gap's closing to the leader, Pascal Wehrlein. That to me, he looks very, very strong. And he, strong yesterday, unfortunately, got caught up in the accident at the end.
Here they come into the Giro chicane, the left and then the right. Gunter is starting to look racy on the back of Norman Natto. Here's Verligne's radio.
Confirm we're correct lap target, all looking good, all good, mate.
So that's Kyle Wilson-Clark on the radio. And there goes Vandoorne into attack mode. Natto follows, as does Gunter. Where are they going to come out with regards to Roland and Sims? Sims comes out in fifth position, just in front. Roland goes for it again at the same corner and gets ahead of Norman Natto. So he likes that overtaking spot.
He's nothing if not persistent, old Oliver Roland.
Absolutely. So Vergne still has 3 attack modes remaining. He leads the race at the Rome E-Prix. Vandoorne is second. Sims is up into third place. Roland is fourth. Fifth is Gunter. Sixth is Natto. Seventh Mortara. De Grassi, Buemi and Evans, the rest of the top 10. Now, Bird has lost out over the course of this as Gunter goes for Roland into turn 4 at Ninfeo Park. I'll wait and see whether that's just the Bird transponder issue again or whether he has actually dropped a long way behind Buemi and his teammate and everybody else and hasn't taken an attack mode. So I think that is the position that Sam Bird is in. Now, here comes Natto. He is in attack mode and he's trying to get back ahead of Roland as they go side by side, and Natto trying to be a little forceful there, but never going to get around the outside at Piazza Gandhi. And Roland holds on to that fifth spot.
And as a driver, you've got to know who you're racing against. Let's see what happens to
what
Sam
happened to
Bird.
Bird. So he sends it in on Muller at 14 and then gets past.
Yeah, just too late from Sam Bird. Locked the fronts up and see the result. And look at him, just late lunge, typical Sam Bird move, but just you can hear the tires chirping. Great recovery, you have to say, phenomenal recovery. What did he lose? Two spots?
De Grassi's off. De Grassi's got damage at the front and the front left as he hits someone. De Grassi is in the runoff area at Piazza Gandhi at the top of the hill at turn 7. So has there been a collision with Lucas De Grassi, and Vandoorne is into the lead of the race. Stoffel Vandoorne has taken the lead away from Pascal Wehrlein. Sims is third, but there is race leader Stoffel Vandoorne in the Mercedes EQ car because Wehrlein has activated his first attack mode then. So Vandoorne takes the lead, but Wehrlein will have 2 more minutes of attack mode to try and get past Vandoorne.
We should get a big penalty, man. It's super dangerous, crazy maneuver. Spun me on the middle of the straight.
Wow, De Grassi saying Buemi spun him on the middle of the straight. Well, we'll obviously have a look back at that at some point. 30 minutes plus 1 lap to go. Let's have a look back now, shall we? Full course yellow.
This is for the
And
car.
big hit. So De Grassi came across to cover and kind of came across the front of Buemi, who was in attack mode, and I think De Grassi wasn't. And that's what pitched De Grassi into the wall.
I'd love to see that again from the angle, to see what the overlap was.
Yeah.
What precipitated what happened before, the sort of couple of seconds before, to know. And Lucas is just trying to keep the thing out of the barriers now.
Yeah.
Big damage there, yeah. So full course yellow.
So here it is. Keep your eyes to the left here, there, and then De Grassi moves over. Buemi's not a lot. That feels a bit racing incident-y to me.
Well, I think what's happened,
maybe De Grassi's block is a little too late.
Lucas put a big block on Sebastian Buemi. It looks like Buemi just said, yeah, no, I'm not having it. I mean, honestly, that would be my interpretation of it. And you can lift at that point, or you can keep your foot in, and he kept his foot in. Lucas was very, very, very aggressive though.
Full course yellow, Vandoorne leading the way. Now, let's quickly go down to Nikki, who's at Envision Virgin Racing. Nikki.
Okay, guys, this is race control.
Sylvain, just to tell us,
Nick
Cassidy got off to a great start, and then I think it was turn 3. He obviously had that spin and was complaining about an issue with the brakes. Do you know what that was?
Yeah, it's too early to tell until we have the car data. We can't really tell what happened, but it's very weird. It was on the screen. His wheels were straight. A huge lock-up on the rear axle, a sudden lock-up on the rear axle, which is very unusual. So we need to understand what happened.
We're just re-watching the start at the moment,
So
and we can see that spin. I mean, obviously a real disappointment there for the team.
Yeah, worst case scenario. We start on pole, we have super strong pace, and then dropping down like this is pretty, yeah, not fun. But anyway, we have good pace, so we'll bounce back.
And what about the incident with Oliver Rowland?
Same. I mean, I think Oliver's under investigation, so I think we could all see what happened there. Anyway, probably a day to forget, but the pace is good, so we'll bounce back.
And then we've got Robin Frines with a penalty as well.
Yeah, it's a great day, isn't it? It's Formula E. It goes from amazing to not very good. But yeah, let's see what we can do in Valencia.
Thanks very much, Sylvain.
Okay, so that's a look at the replay again of Buemi and De Grassi. What are you making of that?
I didn't see, to be honest.
Okay.
Yeah, there was other things going on, and I'd love to have seen it again from Buemi's onboard, but yeah, it's. I think it looks like Lucas made a late, very aggressive block, and Buemi just didn't back out of it. So yeah, big hit though.
So we're under full course yellow, and Stoffel Vandoorne is leading. Verline is second, but the big thing here is that Verline needed to use his second attack mode, or the second half of his attack mode, to re-pass Stoffel Vandoorne. That has not happened because the full course yellow neutralised that. And so Verline now is just second on the road and quite a long way behind Stoffel Vandoorne.
Yeah, exactly right, Jan. And under full course yellow, you don't bunch up behind the safety car, you hold the gaps, and everybody's running around, you see 50 km/h gap, and so yeah, that's a big hit in Pascal Verlaine's race strategy.
This is race control.
The gap
is yellow ending in 5.
Okay, we're about to get going again.
3,
the gap isn't 8
2,
seconds. It just is because they're going
Green
slower. So we'll keep an eye on that. Oh, and there, Alexander Sims absolutely on it. Pascal Verlaine caught napping, and Sims is up into second position in the Mahindra. Really smart stuff. He's one of the cleverest drivers on the grid. Is Alexander Sims, and they're all getting a little bit loose. There's quite a bit of debris on the track still. And here's Sims' radio.
They've left a front wing flap at turn 7 braking zone.
Yeah, that's what we were just spotting.
Yeah, and somebody just ran right over the top of it too, and carbon is razor sharp. It could cause a puncture, but absolutely lovely stuff from Alexander Sims. It looks like he caught Pascal Verlaine completely napping.
So, 25 minutes plus 1 lap left on the clock. And Vandoorne is leading, so you can see now the gap is 2.4 seconds. It's only 8 seconds because they're going slowly behind the full course yellow. Verlaine in third position then. We'll see what the Porsche can do. And into attack mode goes Stoffel Vandoorne, the race leader, and Max Günther, who looked like he got a bit of a wiggle and missed it. Günther missed it.
He was sideways, completely sideways, and almost spun trying to attempt to get the attack mode.
24 minutes plus 1 lap to go. Vandoorne leading in his attack mode. Sims is second, Verlaine is third. The reason it went wrong for Verlaine is because he took his attack mode, he dropped back from Vandoorne, but was going to use that attack mode to close back in. And because he activated it, he came out just in front of Sims. Whereas then they were suddenly there in sort of genuine position. And now Verlaine's got to try and get back past ahead of Sims, who is having a really strong day, actually, Alexander Sims. Here, meanwhile, is Nato and Günther asking for trouble and getting it. Günther just about getting past. Roland fancies this one as they climb up the hill. He's in the black and red Nissan, coming up past Ninfeo Park, and Sims is now having to defend from Pascal Verlaine as they come up into Piazza Gandhi, and they're side by side with Roland and Mortara, and Mortara holds on to 6th position then. So Günther is 4th, Nato is 5th, Mortara is 6th. Not quite sure how because I thought Roland was going to take advantage of the Nato moment, but suddenly he's been passed by Mortara. We're on board, looking back from second place man Alexander Sims, Pascal Verlaine right behind.
Let's go for attack mode.
Yeah, confirming, just checking the gap. Yes, confirm, take it now, be tight with the BMW, take it now, take it now.
Told it'll be tight with the BMW. This was when Verlaine took attack mode and Vandoorne took advantage of it. But how close is it going to be when Verlaine activates his attack mode now, coming down into the left-hander? Sims takes it too, and they both come out in front of Gunter because Gunter had to go again because he didn't get it last time. So Kyle Wilson-Clark on the radio to Verlaine saying it's going to be close with the BMW. It wasn't because he did it anyway. Bird and Muller under investigation for causing a collision. Interesting.
It's all happening again, isn't it?
Yeah.
Alexander Sims absolutely having a lovely race.
Yeah.
You've got to say Pascal Verlaine's is, I think he's probably a bit quicker on outright pace at the moment with the Porsche, but Sims is putting up a heck of a battle. Totally opportunistic pass on the restart.
That felt for me, for Verlaine, they decided they were going to do attack mode. It almost felt like it was an opposite situation. Do whatever Sims doesn't do. Oh, straight on, and that is Mortara. Sorry, it's De Vries. De Vries all locked up into turn 4.
Stock, you're as good as guys around you.
You're as good as the drivers around you in terms of energy is the message there. And Sims is up in front. The two Nissans are now battling. Oliver Rowland with the fluorescent yellow helmet up in front of Sebastian Buemi. Mitch Evans has made his way up into 9th place, just ahead of Antonio Felix da Costa, who's having a very nice afternoon. Started 18th on the grid, I think, da Costa, and 15th, my apologies, but he's now up into the points. This is what happened with De Vries. Oh, just locked it up himself.
Yeah, in that low grip area. And now he's locked the back up. Look how sideways he is, trying to keep it out of the fence.
So he was in 9th place, Nick De Vries. He's now dropped down to 11th position, out of the points-paying positions for the driver who is 3rd in the championship.
I'd started 17th, so he'd make a heck of a climb up through the field.
This is a brain-frying race at the moment. It's, it's sort of all kicking off, but in a manageable way, which I'm quite enjoying.
Yeah, exactly right. Yesterday was just nuts. I was trying to keep pace of exactly what was going on, and it was certainly more than I could handle at that point. But yeah, again, everybody just looking for the smallest advantage, both in terms of energy usage and track position.
Vandoorne is about to run out of his second attack mode. Sims is still going to be in his for another 2 minutes, but the gap between them is 5.7 seconds. Vandoorne has managed to check out in this E-Prix so far.
And let's not forget, Jack, to use the attack mode, the extra power that attack mode gives you, you've got to use energy as well.
Yeah.
And to make the end of the race, you get 52 kilowatt hours at the start of the race. You've got to regenerate about 30% more of that to actually make the end of the race, so that the drivers all the time are talking about regenerating as they get to the braking zones, regenerating energy back into the battery while going as quickly as possible.
Oh, Gunter, all crossed up. Nato covered it. They keep the positions of 4th and 5th.
Late defence by Norman Nato, but nothing we haven't seen from anybody else out there. The Nissans are playing nicely so far.
Well, I'm hearing that Roland is refusing to let Buemi through.
Oh, the Nissans aren't playing nicely.
Well, from the outside, it all looks very, very nice.
All nice and shiny.
Fan boosts for Stoffel Vandoorne, Nick De Vries, Sam Bird, Antonio Felix da Costa and Pascal Verlaine. So that could be something that plays into Verlaine's hands towards the end of the E-Prix in his battle with Alexander Sims, really, over second place, because Vandoorne is on his way. And there goes Eduardo Mortara in the other Venturi through into attack mode, and he's going to come out just ahead of Sebastian Buemi. Buemi is under attack from da Costa. Da Costa in attack mode, taking advantage. No, Mitch. Oh, Evans sent it late in the day. They got away with it. I thought that Buemi was going to be spinning like a frisbee any second there.
Yeah, Mitch Evans did a great job to get out of that manoeuvre, because that was about to end in tears. But he's got another chance now as they come down the hill through turn 1. And he's all over the back of Buemi.
He's got that extra power coming down the hill, hasn't he?
But it's about to run out, Jack. 3 seconds, 2 seconds. You see her on the left. Can he use it? One last gasp. I think he can.
Mortara fighting with Roland. Evans through into 4. So that is now 9th position for Mitch Evans. So Antonio Felix da Costa is having a great little race here, up into 8th position. Here comes Gunter on Nato again. This is the fight for 4th position. Into Piazza Gandhi. and I think Evans was having to now defend this time from Buemi as Buemi tried to fight back, but it's the black and white Venturi of Norman Nato who had the lead earlier on, but he is dropping back to 4th place. Still a pretty solid run this from Nato. This is Max Gunter's radio.
Let's be efficient.
I love these messages from the engineers. Go faster, be efficient.
Well, I think be efficient is don't get overexcited here in this fight.
That I think would be the translation. Yes, don't get carried away.
And we use attack now. We use attack now. Mortar behind his own attack. Gap is 1.4.
So Gunter goes through attack mode. I feel like BMW thought they were going to get out in front of Mortara there, but they haven't managed to do so. So now the Rocket Venturis are up into 4th and 5th position. Sims and Wehrlein used their second attack mode. So again, Wehrlein just doing the same as Sims. And the oldest adage in motorsport is if you do the same strategy as the person you're behind, you will finish behind them.
Wise words,
but
Jack. No, but absolutely right with strategy. How many times have I've heard in my ear, do the opposite of the guy in front.
Yeah.
Whether that's pit stops, whether that's taking attack mode, in this case with strategy, do the opposite. Start to spread it just a little bit at the moment with the different attack mode usages.
Right, here's Stoffel Vandoorne, the race leader, up towards Piazza Gandhi. He has got a 5-second lead over the 2nd place car, which is Alexander Sims in the Mahindra. He and Pascal Wehrlein squabbling over that 2nd place. But Stoffel Vandoorne is channeling his GP2 title-winning year, just disappearing up the road. Absolutely superb stuff, and this is the margin he has. He is out in front, whereas Alexander Sims is there, coming out of the car behind.
Numbers. How's your car?
He's talking about car balance, he's talking about the grip.
That's a good. Let me do it.
that was polite. Politely. Could you please shut up?
Yeah.
Let me get on with it. He's talking about balance. That's grip, front to rear. How is the balance? Is the front sliding too much? The rear sliding too much? Or is it working together? It sounds like it looks like the Mercedes EQ of Stoffel Vandoorne is working together.
16 minutes plus 1 lap to go. Vandoorne leading 3.5 seconds now behind Sims because he's taken his 3rd and final attack mode. Oliver Rowland in the middle of this group is the only one who is not, or still has 1 attack mode remaining. Stoffel Vandoorne leading with 15 minutes plus 1 lap to go. Sims is 2nd, Wehrlein is 3rd, Nato 4th, Mortara 5th, Gunter 6th, Roland da Costa, Evans and Buemi the rest of the top 10. Bird has got back up into 11th position, having dropped down the order a little bit earlier on. Still no news on any of the incidents with Roland and with Bird. There's going to be any penalties there, so we'll keep an eye on that one. Da Costa's activating his fan boost now to try and get past Oliver Rowland as they come up towards Piazza Gandhi. We're on board with him here, but it's so difficult to get past. You activate your fan boost, and there we go. Da Costa uses his fan boost, gets to the inside of Rowland, into Piazza Gandhi, and that is now 7th place for Da Costa in, I think, what is turning into the drive of the day.
Yeah, and he's got to close that 3-second gap with Max Gunter in front, but he is having a wonderful drive, as you say, Jack, who started 18th, and he's just worked his way up. Sorry, that was something else. Yeah, he's just working his way to the front. Started 15th today. Fantastic.
14 minutes plus 1 lap to go. Vandoorne leading. As you can see there, Roland is the only driver to have an attack mode remaining in the top 10 anyway. Rast has 1, Robin Freitz has 2, Verne has made progress up to 16th position. Turby's ahead of Lotterer and Cassidy, and Lucas de Grassi is the only retirement. There goes Roland then into his final attack. And this might be where karma comes back at him a little bit as we go, look at this, driver's eye with Sam Bird fighting with Roland. But with Roland in attack mode and Buemi, his teammate in front, not, I wonder if the old switcheroo will happen. Muller and Bird, no further action after an investigation, but Roland has got a 10-second time penalty. 10-second time penalty for Oliver Rowland for causing that collision, and here comes Gunter. Gunter and Mortara for 5th place. Gunter on the outside, Mortara on the inside.
It's just not going to happen. It's too quick a corner that you just can't get the overlap sufficiently. and nobody's going to give you the space either, let's be honest. The Tech Pro barrier there's getting a bit of a workout. You see the marbles on the outside of turn 6, so you can't pull out of line too early as you approach the braking zone.
Nato ahead of Vergne. So Nato's taken 3rd place away from Pascal Vergne. So Vergne, from being on the back of Alexander Sims for 2nd, Sims there in the red, white and blue Mahindra has disappeared, and Nato in the Rocket Venturi has got past, but he's got 2% less energy than Sims and Vergne around him. Interesting.
We've seen this again with Pascal Vergne, so competitive at the start of the race and then fading. 12.5 minutes plus a lap, and it just looks like he just doesn't quite have the pace now to contend with the leaders.
12.5 minutes plus 1 lap to go. We'll see whether Vergne can stay with him.
Correct. Let's be efficient.
Again, Gunter being told to be efficient in his battle with Eduardo Mortara. Here's how Nato did it.
Yeah, the old-fashioned way, outbroke him on the inside. That was lovely. And dealing with those bumps and those manhole covers in the middle of the road. Here's the view from Pascal Vergne. You don't want to have a look to your left. There's a Rocket Venturi. And off he heads. Great driving by the rookie Norman Nato.
Stoffel Vandoorne leading the way for Mercedes EQ. There is the 2nd place man, Alexander Sims. Then it's this 3rd place battle, the 71 of Norman Nato and the 99 Porsche of Pascal Vergne, fighting over the final podium positions. René Rast has just got ahead of Alex Lynn and up into 13th position. Sam Bird is back up into the points. He's got back up ahead of Sebastian Buemi and into 10th spot. Oh, Nato looked a little wide coming up through 6, but holds the position, no problem.
Yeah, it's not a feeling you want to get on those marbles on the outside of 6 because it starts to, you feel the steering going light as you get into the marbles and you lose grip and it's like hitting ice and the next thing he hits the wall.
Yeah, so, confirmation it is a 10-second time penalty for Oliver Rowland, which I think is about fair, to be honest with you. If the Lotterer Vandoorne one yesterday was 5 seconds, the Rowland one today 10 seconds.
Yeah,
fine.
Doesn't fix Nick Cassidy's race. Though. That's the unfortunate part of it. Nobody's a winner in that one.
This is something we've seen with Vergne. I love pizza pasta in motore on the.
That sounds like your life, Jack.
Yeah, exactly. You know what? Pizza engines. That's going to be on my headstone.
You like that one?
Yeah. Or the title of my autobiography, whichever comes first. Well, obviously the autobiography.
Well, it might be so spicy. You have to do your biography after your headstone appears.
Maybe Evino.
Oh yes.
Add in the Evino as well. Pizza, pasta.
What were you going to say about Vergne?
Oh, I can't remember. We've seen this many times where he's looked strong. He's looked in a strong position, and then the pace has disappeared. Here's a look at Sebastian Buemi.
Confirm. We've got the same sailing profile to Vandoorne, same sailing profile to the energy look of the leader.
Now, what was that? That was Rast getting ahead of Nick de Vries and Sebastian Buemi getting involved in that fight as well. So Vergne being told we're in the same sort of position as the leader. Here's Robin Freitz and Alex Lynn doing battle, but you're in 4th place. Why does it matter what your reference is to the leader? I don't know. Obviously, less than 10 minutes plus a lap to go. What's Robin Freitz going to do here? This is Rowland, meanwhile, defending from Sam Bird. Oh, Rast thought about a cheeky one there.
He really did, didn't he? But discretion was definitely the better part of valor. And Rast is having another great race, up to 11th place. Started 19th.
Yeah, him and Da Costa doing really, really well, climbing up the field. And with Rowland's 10-second penalty, that will promote Bird up into 9th position if things stay how they are. Energy-wise, Nato and Mortara both a little bit less than those around them, as is Da Costa. So we'll see whether Nato's pace drops off a little. But Sims is doing a good job in 2nd position, holding on to that 2nd place in the Mahindra, because we haven't really had a chance to see the true pace of the Mahindra yet, or the true sort of race pace energy management style, because they've got an all-new powertrain for this year, made by their partners at ZF. And in Dirio we didn't fully get to see it, and now we really are.
Okay, 2% more energy to car ahead and car behind, 2% more. Same as the leader, That
tells me attack, go. You know, Sims is looking pretty good, but if you're Vergne, you've got to think about getting past Norman Nato.
Oh, in the wall is René Rast. And that's coming out of turn 1, and he's squiggled his way into the wall there, and he's spun. So what has happened here? Has he got out on the marbles or something? Yellow flag with 8 minutes plus 1 lap to go. Now that could bring out a full safety car, and we could get a last lap dash.
I had oversteer exit of last corner.
Oh, so it happened.
And then wishbone broke.
Oh, so he's tapped the wall on the exit of 19, and then it's spun around on him at 1.
Yeah, we saw Oliver Rowland do something similar yesterday as he came out of the last corner, and pretty heavy contact with the wall.
But obviously glad to hear that he's okay, talking on the radio to the team, and hopefully they can just yank him back behind that entry point.
It happen. No, I don't think it can happen safely, Jack.
No, but safety car. But
yeah, quickly.
Hopefully not too long.
Yeah, oh, absolutely.
Well, we'll
drag the thing back. Come on, let's go.
It's already broken.
Yeah.
Right, here's what happened then. René Rast. Oh, there it goes.
Yeah, it's crabbing. So yeah, wishbone broke because he's hit the wall quite hard, and he's hit the wall harder. He's having such a good race as well.
Yeah, really good stuff. Bird has got ahead of Oliver Rowland on track as well. So you can see Bird and the Jaguar there first in shot, with Oliver Rowland behind him. So the 10-second penalty is not relevant now in terms of Bird. The championship leaders climb up the order. But René Rast in the barriers on the exit of turn 1. And there is the Mini Electric pace setter safety car. That'll bunch the whole field up. Now, it might be a flat-out race to the finish in the end, because although they reduce the energy, there's only a certain amount of time they have. But hopefully we can get this car moved and go racing again before too long.
Such a long lap under safety car can have a big effect on the strategy of the race, because you're taking away the energy under safety car, and also just time-wise, the safety car. If I'm the race director, right, and I'm telling the safety car, just crawl round, so we can, if anything, go green the next time we come up to the safety car line, which is in about pretty much a lap's time, in 3 kilometers from now.
So both Audis out in a big creamy mess of a Formula E car for both of them, unfortunately. René Rast and Lucas de Grassi, both high-speed incidents, down in 23rd and 24th positions on the tower on the left-hand side. Lynn and Freitz are the two drivers that have an attack mode still to use, and Nick Cassidy, but Cassidy, he's not a lap down actually, Nick Cassidy, but he is in 22nd position. So he'll be able to join the back of the pack. This is going to be fascinating. How much racing will we get going? Fascinating. Vandoorne's lead has suddenly disappeared.
Using fan boost. Consider using fan boost.
So consider using fan boost at the restart is the inference there for Stoffel Vandoorne.
Yeah, just give him an extra push of power just to get away in the break, you know, so it takes him out of striking distance from Alexander Sims, and especially Sims was so on the ball on that last restart.
Look at the back here. We're going to see René Rast, the third car in the queue. There's
Again,
the tap on the wall.
He's just caught it with the wheel jack. You can catch the bodywork all day long, but you just catch the wheel, broke the suspension. And the rear end of the car, it'll make it obviously as light as possible. It's not designed to take that kind of punishment.
So, Rast in the wall. René Rast climbing out of his Audi after hitting the barriers, both of Alan McNish's Audis out of the E-Prix. But hopefully they will be able to lift that car up and remove it fairly promptly. Rast is behind the barrier, he is okay, and then we can get racing going again for a frantic final few moments on the streets of Rome.
You don't often see René Rast making mistakes, multiple DTM champion.
No. So, this is frustrating if you're Vandoorne, because you had a big lead, you had this race under control. I think energy is most likely going to go out the window. It'll just be a flat-out final few races, and we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
Because how aggressive is Sims going to be? Because, you know, these are all racing drivers, but Sims in that red, white and blue Mahindra in second place, he's a smart cookie. He's not got a huge amount of points this season, Alexander Sims. Just the 7th place in the opening race in Diriyah. Grab a 15 points here, and suddenly you've got the same amount of points as René Rast, who's retired from the race, and you're up into the top 10 in the championship. It's that kind of... But equally, this is round 4 of the championship. We don't know, obviously, how long this championship season is going to be as of yet. We know that we are going to Valencia for a doubleheader in 2 weeks' time. From then on, we're waiting for a sort of extension of the calendar announcement. We could be, conceivably, a quarter of the way through the season by the end of this race.
No, absolutely right. If you're Stoffel Vandoorne, you're thinking, oh man, I don't need this. I don't need the hassle. I know the car's quick enough. I just don't, you know, you've just reduced, the odds have now gone a bit against you. You've done all the hard work. Those are the breaks. I think, well, Sims, will he attack? I don't know. I think Norman Nato might, because he is totally Captain Excitement. He drives the car over the limit. He's a rookie as well, but he's got a possible podium position. But he looks in the mirror and he sees Pascal Wehrlein, which, you know, you could think about looking forward and attacking the position ahead of you. There's a lot going on behind too.
Right, so the accident is cleared by the looks of things.
Safety car in this lap. Please respect the link.
Lap. So we're going to get 2 laps, I would say.
Oh.
Well, in fact, I know it's going to be, well, I'd hope the pace car, the safety car, is going to get around. If you're Vandoorne, do you slow it down to make sure you... I think it's difficult. A full speed lap around here is a minute 40. The safety car now, the electric mini pace setter, is giving it some. Bruno Correa, racing driver extraordinaire at the wheel.
And he loves that car. It's got Formula E tyres on it. It's actually got
really?
He said it's so quick. He keeps asking me to go for a lap with him in the passenger seat, which I am definitely not doing. But just looking here, 12th and 13th. Alex Lynn, Robin Freins have not taken the second attack mode, so they're going to have to do that, lose track position and positions, and they're not going to get any advantage from it, which is...
Are they going to be able to use it all by the end of the race?
No, but they'll have to take it. That's all that matters. What I'm saying is they won't get any advantage of the extra.
I thought you had to use it all up.
No, I think it's just take it. I believe.
Well, we'll check that one, but it's the battle for 12th and 13th also. Stoffel Vandoorne then will get the race back underway. 45 seconds left on the clock. So it's going to be tight, whether it's 1 lap or 2 laps. And Vandoorne, presumably, is happy for it to be 1 lap. The safety car then is going to come in. This is feeling like it's going to be 1 lap. Here's Sims' radio.
Okay, get ready for the restart. Push on it.
Get ready for the restart and push on it is the message.
Likely to stay 3 laps, is it?
I think that is probably a slightly delayed message.
Yeah. I think it's going to be a 1 lap shootout.
Yeah, agreed.
Because when the clock gets to 0, there's 1 lap remaining. And Vandoorne can decide to go whenever he wants. If he goes now, that's it. It's a 1 lap shootout for the Rome E-Prix.
Green flag.
Green flag. And there goes Vandoorne. Vandoorne leading in the Mercedes EQ as we come through the final corner at turn 19. Sims behind him. Nato is third. Verlein, Mortara, Gunter Evans, Da Costa, Bird and Roland the top 10 as we have a final fight for the win.
And Sims has got a sniff of this win, Jack, and he is pushing for all he's worth.
Along via Tre Fontane and then through the left. Oh, a little bit of a lock up there from Sims. Nato locks up more. They both get through, and Nato actually carried quite decent speed through there. Sims is dropping back a little from Vandoorne, and Vandoorne uses his fan boost. Vandoorne activates his fan boost and gets further away. Nato and Mortara, I'm not loving their energy. 2%, 1% for Nato and Mortara. Mortara, oh, he's big out of shape. And he's managed to save it. Save of the season for Renault Mortara, not save of the season here. De Vries, Bird and Roland wiped out.
Championship leader, Sam Bird.
And third place man in the championship, Nick De Vries, wiped out on the final lap. Stoffel Vandoorne leading the way. What's going on with Nato in third? How much has he got to save energy? Is Pascal Wehrlein going to be able to get past him in the final half of this lap? Then there's a big gap back to Edo Mortara, who's going to be under big pressure. Look, Mortara now is down to 0.5%. Wehrlein's got to send it.
Yeah, watch Wehrlein in 4th position, the white and black and red Porsche.
No room there. And now we're into this really tight, twisty section. We're on board with him. Going for 3rd place. Nato's on 0.5%. of energy remaining. Mortara's on 0.2. Natto's defending every possible corner, but up at the front, Stoffel Vandoorne comes through the final turn, and Stoffel Vandoorne wins the Rome E-Prix. Second for Alexander Sims, and I think Natto has just made it ahead of Vergne for his first podium in Formula E, but Vandoorne is the winner.
Well done, dude. Woo! He won. Great job.
Redemption. This is what he should have had yesterday.
Stoffel Vandoorne started on pole position yesterday, was hit out by
Okay, guys,
Andre
this is
Lotterer.
race control. Attention all teams, please respect the yellow flags from turn 5 through turn 8. Turn 7 is still, we still have cars there from the earlier incident, so please respect that.
Absolute delight for Susie Wolf, team principal of the Rocket Venturi team. Hugs all around as they secure a podium finish with Natto in third. There's De Vries out of the race. But let's check in with the race winner, shall we? Stoffel Vandoorne for the Mercedes EQ team. Dario?
Stoffel, it's Dario. Congratulations. That was definitely a better finish for you than yesterday.
Thanks, Dario. Yeah, this is what we needed yesterday, but I guess today made up for it.
A fabulous job by you and the Mercedes EQ team. That car looked fast, you looked quick. Congratulations.
Stoffel Vandoorne, the winner after 23 laps of racing. Alexander Sims finishing second for Mahindra, third for Pascal Wehrlein. Edo Mortara and Max Günther completing the top 5. Mitch Evans in the end gets up into 6th position after the penalty and the disqualification for Norman Natto for using too much energy. Da Costa 7th, Buemi, Blomqvist and Muller the top 10, so more points for Tom Blomqvist for the Neo 333 team. And then the championship top 3. Robin Freint, Sam Bird and Nick De Vries, 18th, 19th and 20th. Nick Cassidy was the driver who started at the front, and that issue for him as well. But it's Sam Bird who, despite being the championship leader, didn't finish the race, but he still wins the Heineken 0-0 Keep Cool Award. Because he really kept cool under pressure as he carved his way through the field in the opening stages.
Hello and welcome to the
So now it's time to move on to the podium presentations.
2021 ABB FIA Formula E World Championship in Rome.
There you can see the podium presentation about to get underway.
Please welcome to the stage Marius Meyer-Dietrich.
And there's Marius Meyer-Dietrich, the race engineer for Stoffel Vandoorne. The man you hear in Stoffel's ear on the radio. And he very deservingly goes up into third place on the podium.
In third place,
Third position for
from Tagway Porsche Formula E team.
Frustrated, no doubt, not to have won that one. There'll be a lot of debriefs at the Porsche team after this. They got something in that car, but not quite enough to fight at the front.
In second place, Alexander Sims.
Second place for Alexander Sims, the first podium of the season for Mahindra. Today was actually, not bad. If you want to see more of Alexander Sims dancing, you watch The Switch on Mahindra's social media channels. It's Sims and Lynn learning how to dance with professional ballroom dancers. It's really, really funny. So funny. But the race winner, Stoffel Vandoorne from Mercedes EQ. Mercedes are always running at the front, aren't they? Whether it be Vandoorne or De Vries. And it's looking like it's turning into a bit of a Mercedes-Jaguar fight at the top of the team's championship as well.
Now the national anthem
But the
of
Belgian
the winning driver from Belgium.
takes his second win in Formula E. And now the German national anthem for the Mercedes EQ squad. Another victory for them in this championship. That's 2 for the season so far. Stoffel Vandoorne on the top step, the German national anthem for Mercedes EQ, who now in their second full year in the championship. Ian James was actually saying to me yesterday that there is no excuse anymore. There's Daniele Frongilla, the City Councillor for Sports and Great Events. And there is Marius Meyer-Dietrich, the representative of Mercedes EQ. And then we have Angelo Sticchi Damiani, the president of the ACI, the Automobile Club d'Italia, congratulates Pascal Wehrlein with his third place trophy, his first trophy as a Porsche driver. I'm sure a long, long career with Wehrlein and Porsche to come. Daniela Lujanin, head of the ABB Formula E partnership, is congratulating the second place driver, Alexander Sims, his third Formula E podium. The trophy's just for the dancing. Very happy though, Sims, with that one. And then we have Stefano Barone, a healthcare worker, who alongside Virginia Raggi, the mayor of Rome, congratulates the race winner, Stoffel Vandoorne. Vandoorne won the final race of last season, and he has looked quick a lot this year. He hasn't had the results to prove it in the first 3 races. Pole position yesterday, but now a victory and a launch up the championship standings right into contention. And the podium selfie. But now the Moet moment for Stoffel Vandoorne, and he's going to enjoy this one. No second race to look forward to tomorrow. Is he going to do the drop? No, he's not going to. So in Berlin, he did the thing where you drop it and bang it on the floor, and it just smashed the bottle. So he wasn't going to be doing that again. Vandoorne takes the win. Hugely impressive performance. The confetti flying around. And Rome is the scene for a superb celebration and a superb drive for Stoffel Vandoorne. You can see how much it means to him to finally get that win under his belt, to finally find himself towards the front of the championship. Stoffel Vandoorne, the winner of the Rome E-Prix. We go green in Rome. The Porsche Cassidy's round at turn 7.
Whoa, beautiful. A great recovery. Big hit.
Great job.
Stoffel Vandoorne wins the Rome E-Prix.